guys, hey, Drew is sleeping next to his wife. He's on vacation. It's 3 a.m. Who knows? He might be up. It's 3 a.m. in Greece, though. So we're going to have some fill-ins this week. And if you don't know Ryan Noonan, you're an idiot. You're just a big, dumb idiot. He works at 4 oh, my God. I had the video playing on my phone. I like it so much. So I did even wear the 4 hat today when I was choosing hats when I left for the office. And apologies if my audio isn't good. StreamYard is being a pain. When I switch to it won't let me switch to my good mic unless I turn my camera off. So you either get good audio or no video, which you make the jokes if you want, but that's fine. How you doing, Ryan? How'd your weekend go betting? What'd you think of this one?
If some people have said, not me, some people said that you have a face for radio. I disagree. I think that you are, fantastically aesthetically pleasing, and I think that the audio only would be robbing the folks of this halftime enjoyment. So I think you going with bad audio is definitely the way to get it. He's the guy that was interviewing. It's
true. Noonan
That's
did
actually
interview Paige Sporonic
a couple times.
That was like a paper, rock, scissors because we were both nervous. I went on her podcast. Noonan interviewed her here. Both were nerve-wracking. As suave as Andy and Noonan are, it's still tricky talking to a beautiful lady and a really good golfer. Jesus, that's the most intimidating part is like watching her golf and be like, fuck, I suck compared to you.
Yeah, I have a clip that she was telling me a story about her, just the cesspool that is her DMs.
Yeah.
And the quote, basically, she's talking about someone saying something specific to her. But if you just literally take the 3-second clip, it sounds like she's saying something very specific to me.
Yeah.
And I have the clip, and no one can ever take that away from me. So
2-0. I guess I didn't upgrade the offense enough. That was a good look today. As far as this game goes, I'm already involved in some Texans -6. I got some pro Texans SGPs, but I mean, just stat-wise, we're looking at 7.1 to 3.2 yards per play. Similar plays. The Bears have been better on third down. Obviously, big third down conversion on 3rd and 14. I'm not going to say that wasn't pass interference. It was blatantly pass interference. He looked like he was playing the ball, but I made a joke in the Discord. It's hard to miss. It's not like, oh, he blended in. I couldn't see the receiver. They're bright orange, guys. It's going to be hard to miss these guys. You ran right into him before the ball got there. You should have, again, if you're just joining me, sorry for the bad mic. So I'm going to be sending a strongly worded email in the morning. It's kind of Bears team total under if you want, but I've seen some good things from Caleb. The biggest problem is the pickup of the blitz. Noonan, you can probably explain this a little better than me, but when they run a stunt, the tackle has to hand someone off to the guard, and that handoff is going very poorly. And sometimes you're just ending up with 2 people that suddenly aren't blocked, and it's happening 2 or 3 times on third down. And it's becoming a problem when Caleb Williams has people in his lap because the pass rushers in the NFL are faster than the pass rushers in the Pac-6.
Yeah. Well, so there's continuity along the offensive line for the Bears in terms of the number of guys that returning from last year. But that was part of the problem last year is that they were never healthy at the same time. So in terms of actual consistent snaps with all 5 of these guys together, with a new guy having to change assignments, that's a kind of a new thing for them. So even though the names on the back of the jerseys are the same, who's sliding guys where and whatnot is definitely a different situation. So let's shout out. I mean, D'Amico Ryans is one of the best defensive game planners in the game, and now they have a boatload of talent on that side of the ball. And what they're doing is they do a great job at making you play, left-handed or the hand behind your back, whatever analogy you prefer. I am left-handed, so to me that would be my strength. But so however you like to take the analogy, but they really outside of their games against the Colts last year, because those box scores look pretty wonky. You had some good rushing from JT in both those games, and then Zach Moss actually in the first one, and then A-Rich as well. They were fantastic. They were a uber efficient run defense, and the Bears were too. And now we've seen that today. They've basically taken that away from the Bears tonight. They're making Caleb beat them. He's playing pretty well, but he's just not again, without his full allotment of pass catchers, I don't know how healthy Rome is per se. Like they're just not being able to push the ball down the field. And I guess that's really tough knowing that, hey, you're going to have to drop back in a higher rate than normal. And you don't really have the ability for explosives unless DJ Moore kind of breaks one. The guy can obviously do that, but like kind of dinking and dunking. DJ Moore is like A-dot last week was like 4 yards. That's not great. We want to see a little bit more of that out of DJ Moore, but this team just makes it hard for you to do that. So yeah, all Texan stuff is looking pretty clean, even though the Bears got that late score.
Yeah, some points about the offensive line. Nate Davis is a fill-in for Bates, who's out. I mean, IR'd him. I think they took Nate Davis out last week to put Bates in, said, all right, we made the wrong choice. We're going with and then he got hurt. Now he's injured. It's going to be Nate Davis going forward. But yeah, the right side of that line has been all the penalties. That's been a problem. They've kind of managed, even though they've had some procedural penalties. It's probably, considering it's close, I'm a little worried about taking this under. I thought I'd come in here looking at an under based on most of what I saw from the Bears. I thought it would be, truncated drives, field goals, the big pass interference play, which, the good quarterbacks get that sometimes. I'm not saying he underthrew it on purpose or anything, but you're going to get those calls if you make throws like that. And that guy was probably going to catch that if he didn't get interfered with. So good throw by Caleb. I'll give him to it. But like I said, I'm involved at -6. Maybe I'm not worried about getting involved at -7. Yeah, right. I didn't quite understand what that was. They were alternating. I don't know if it was series by series. I almost want to go back and look at that. But the Bears offensive line has, it had a little offseason steam. It's being like, it's getting better. It was better, but there's still some definite issues here. And especially when you have a rookie quarterback on third downs.
We do this all the time. They gave a bunch of money to Nate Davis last year. And then it's like, well, the Bears upgraded their offensive line. It's like, well, no, they're just paying more for their offensive line, right? This is what we're doing in Miami with like Robert Hunt. Like, oh, the Bears, the Dolphins upgraded their offensive line. No, they just gave a very mediocre guard, Pro Bowl guard money. And then the assumption is that guy is now a Pro Bowler. He was just next man up on the free agent list, and the team had a positional need. So, Nate Davis, not that dude, but I don't know. I think okay with Bears stuff moving forward as it pertains to tonight, because I think both teams are going to struggle to run the football, even though I think the Texans will stay with it. You kind of have to throw the football, and we just, more plays, clock stops, explosives. There's just more opportunities for the game to go over. Sitting in a live number that's pretty attainable in terms of key numbers. I think over is actually pretty interesting here.
Yeah, I'm thinking of personally playing. I got to get on a different book because bookmakers are going to have this, but I want
Panthers. Sorry, chat. You're correct. That's what I meant. Sorry, Panthers. Not.
I want to play the team total over for the Texans as well. But none of these game podcasts show the score on the screen. The scores that you want the score? I can make a banner. I don't care. What is the score? 16-10?
16-10.
It's 16-10. Here, I'm just going to put this other banner up while I do this. But this might have been from a golf podcast. So we'll go Bears 10. And then, we'll play the over. Because I do think I'm getting 14 out of the Texans anyway. Maybe more. All right. There's the score for you. It is moving Houston's way. I'm looking at what the price is here. I should quote some local legal books for you guys too. So we do have some DraftKings sponsorship on the screen, but I live in Minnesota. That's not something I'm going to be able to bet at. So second half NFL for me. I'm going to find a team total for Houston. What do we got here? 23. Why can't I find team totals? I hate new bet online. I'm gonna have to hunt this down in a second. It's probably gonna be live. Okay.
We'll play DraftKings team total is what we require here.
Yeah, find that for me and then I'll bet it. The under is getting a little bit of action here. I don't think it's gonna be a big difference between 23 and 22.5 though. It's not like you're crossing some super key second half team total number here or total number. So I think a cheap 23 is in the books. I like an over. We had some luck with overs last week.
DraftKings Texans over 28.5 -110, under -120.
Oh,
Got to pay the
28 and a
bills.
half. So you got to add it. So you got to do some adding. So that's 12 and a half. What was the juice on that?
No, it's overs minus 110, under minus 120. So we had 16, right? So yeah, I mean, you need
12 and a half.
Yeah.
All right, that's my play. I'm doing it. They don't start with the ball. The Bears do start with the ball.
Yeah.
But some over, it's gonna be a double play. So over 23. Minus
You sickos just moved it to minus 115.
Texans team total over 12.5. We'll call it 115 then. All right, some points. I think you're gonna see the Bears have to push the ball down the field. We'll see how that goes. Maybe get some turnovers. Although Caleb, he didn't throw a touchdown, or an interception. I didn't throw a touchdown either. He didn't throw an interception last week, did he? I believe he's clean for the year. Or did we have one bounced off? I'm trying to think of what the Titans defense did do a pretty good job just in general. And it was his first game. What's the guy going to do?
Yeah, no picks last game either. So he's clean. Yeah, 14 to 29 for 93 yards. Which is interesting.
Honestly, that's kind of impressive in and of itself.
It is.
So
today again, he's competing with
45 times, 44 times plus sacks, which are not going to count, and scrambles. He's probably dropped back 50 times, hasn't thrown a pick to start the season. Absolutely jinxing him here, which I'm doing on purpose. But he's been careful with the ball. He hasn't gone full Levis because he's had some guys like in his lap.
Never go full Levis.
We are Solheim Cup champs. How cool is that? That just like on an NFL Sunday, Obama chooses to watch you play golf instead. I think Obama likes golf a lot. I think he gambles on golf too. That's my hot take. Yeah, we are also trying to erase the Titans game from our core memories. I had +4. Felt pretty good about that.
Oh man, yeah.
A good chunk of the game. I think my bad one this week. I don't know did you have any bad prop ones that just looked good and didn't get there? I don't know how much.
Yeah. Fuck, Justin Fields over 37.5 rushing yards when he breaks a 24-yard run like the first possession of the game, and you're feeling like I didn't ladder it aggressively enough, and then he just stops running for 3 quarters, and then he stalls out basically right there. So that one was painful.
Yeah, I had and for a while I did think the number was going to matter because there's 42s available early. So I had the Washington, New York over, and the Commanders / football team went 0 for 6 in the red zone. They did make all their field goals. In fact, they made one more that wasn't in the red zone. 0 for 6 is tough. I can't complain. The Giants did get down there and score a couple times, but the Giants also had weird spots where, hey, we can't use our kicker here. Like at the end of the game, that was if you did have Giants money line, that was rough because they're in this position where it's like, all right, now you're within field goal range. Let's run the clock out and kick the game in field goal, except they couldn't do it, which it sounds like there was some bad planning on that where they knew he was on the injured list.
We had it. So we almost
move him up.
We almost pushed out under 6.5 points for Graham Gano. It's an official play from 4 for 4 just before the game because we got that information. So we had played a little bit of that, and then he actually re-aggravated it on the opening kickoff, and then was done. And then some people, I did not get in on it. I couldn't find it in time. Some people played under 3.5 field goals in the game because of it. But then the other side, the Washington kicker just kicks a ton of field goals. So not good for anyone except the Gano bag holders. But yeah, tough for anyone on the Giants side.
I got a Komet catch. I just need 2 more now. I don't think he had any in the first half. It's plus 125 to get 3 catches. So I needed that. Need a couple more. Yeah, I didn't have any other really bad beats. I played Kansas City. That was my regret of the week. Last week was obviously playing Atlanta, just because I had to put my money where my mouth was on my Atlanta preseason numbers. And I felt like a bad bet when I made it, and it felt like a very bad bet for the entirety of the game. Kansas City was, the biggest regret. No regrets. What's the snoozer? I did have a snoozer. It's fun having a snoozer every week too. The Josh Jacobs rushing yards not starting with the 7 was a surprise to the Discord. I think a bunch of people played that. I put him. Who played on Thursday night? Now that I can't remember. Niners.
Yeah. No, Niners just played your Vikings today.
Niners played Vikings. Why can't I think of who played on Thursday?
Bills Dolphins.
Bills Dolphins. So Cook, younger Cook. I had a bunch of
younger Cook.
Younger Cook. Well, he is. He's younger than Dalvin.
Yeah,
right?
he's younger Cook.
I had a bunch of him with Jacobs, like both their rushing totals, rushing plus receiving combined, alts. He didn't get to most of his alts, but it was nice to get that stuff home really early. Like that was the ultimate. Hey, we think they should run a bunch, and they did, and it's so beautiful as like playing an easy prop like that. Like, oh my gosh, this is a team that gave up $1 trillion to Mixon. What if they just ran the ball like half the time to Josh Jacobs? It's so nice watching that get through.
My favorite bet of the week, I think, was Alex Highsmith over a quarter sack. And I think it opened at like plus 160. And he got there on the first drive. And that felt really nice. And got the whole solo by himself. So absolutely love that one. Again, I do push those out for our subscribers at 4 for 4. I can't make those like official plays because the way that they post sacks.
Yeah.
DraftKings is kind of the only one that posts quarter sacks, and it's because of new market. They actually will take a little bit on it, which is nice, but that'll dry up here quickly. But some books will post half sacks, and then you risk pushing or whatnot. But from a overall matchup standpoint, absolutely love that one, and that got home quickly. My bags that I'm alive. We need some Jaquan Brisker, tackles here. You can get over 6.5 live on Caesars right now. I need more than what the overline is currently, but let's at least get the current overline home and then see if we can get one more to get us there.
Sometimes it just takes like one good drive.
Always say they come in bunches.
So yeah,
they come in bunches.
It's like 3 tackles in a row.
Happens all the time. You think you're dead, you guys down by a bunch, and then they get out there, and next thing you know, gets back to back, and then you're live. You only need that one more, and things happen. So, Brisker's our guy here for the second half. The most efficient tackling safety against the run last year was a more than league average efficient on passing plays. But if we can get a good amount of mix-in running here, Brisker filling in the box could make some noise here. That's and
Mixon's had a couple nice runs, but for the most part, they haven't run that well either.
No Juice Scruggs. Juice Scruggs is out, Andy.
If you look at their run their yards per run, it looks good, but it's because of the Tank Dell end arounds. Like, he's bringing that average up quite a bit. Mixon has just been okay today.
6 and 19 for Mixon.
Up front,
yeah.
Almost a stinker was the over, which got a bunch of steam to the under today. LA, Arizona. That was what I liked the over in as well. And I really thought we'd get a little better effort out of the Rams. I was kind of expecting it to be a close game where, both teams scored in the high 20s and we'd be fine. I didn't really see it playing out where the Rams got put in a bad game state immediately and then Kupp got hurt. I was just thinking there was a Texans-Ravens game like 3 years ago that I think it was right around a 48, and it ended like 44-0 Baltimore or whatever it was. I think
directionally
Drew had it, and it was just maddening to watch that game because you just couldn't get there.
Yeah, that's the worst. All right, see Brisker, he just got another one, so we're okay. We're already cooking a little bit, so we'll get there.
I'm having tackle to Stevenson.
Stevenson fell one short for me last week, so he's we need him.
He's on the blacklist.
He's on the blacklist. I am having Solak, a friend of ours, on the Move the Line on Wednesday, joining Connor and I want to workshop a discussion point that I did not prep you for, that I'm going to do the courtesy of prepping Solak for. But I just want to see off the cuff. You're good off the tip here. Is there a preseason take that you would like to walk back after 2 weeks?
I mean, anything I said nice about Atlanta. And I don't know if that's a super fair one. although I should have known better, we said it. We said we haven't really seen a bunch of film of Kirk Cousins planting, looking good, looking confident in his throw. And since we haven't seen that, are we super sure he's healthy and ready to go? Because it didn't sound like anyone's confident, and I still left their offense rated higher than I should have. And then TJ Watt absolutely blew up their face for 4 quarters. They didn't move the ball at all. And that was probably my worst take. I have some good ones. It's nice to have some good ones that don't look super bad. I was higher on a lot of people on the Saints defense.
Okay.
I had no idea how wrong I was in the Saints offense. We were like, okay, Olave is good, but Carr might not be. We don't know if Kubiak's just a shitty retread or if he's actually an upgrade.
Sure.
Kamara, who knows? Some
offensive line's terrible.
Like Shaheed, is he a one-trick pony? Which he might be, but he's good enough with that trick.
Trick is pretty good trick.
Yep. So yeah, yeah. Anybody who was pro Panthers, take a lap. That one's looking dead on arrival pretty quickly. They look just
my guy Hunter right there.
Pathetic. Yeah.
And Patrick's in the chat too. Patrick, a prop drop friend of the show. Shout out to Patrick.
Last winless teams.
I did bet. I'm feeling pretty good. I got the Jags 15-1 to start 0-5. And the one I was really worried about kind of was that home game in week 2. I mean, obviously they can lose, but the start of the schedule for the Jags, I was just worried about, defensive shift from what Ryan Nielsen does based off of what they've done in the past is pretty drastic. They're rotating out the best linebacker in the business. I know everyone loves Fred Warner, but like Foye Oluokun should be in that team picture. And like they're just giving that dude like multiple drives off. Same thing, Devin Lloyd, like they're just rotating in these like scrubby linebacker 3 and 4. I don't know what's going on. And they kind of cluster injuries in the back half right now. Tyson Campbell's out. They lost Savage, who's been playing the slot for them, and the Browns took advantage of that a little bit today. So, yeah, I mean, I'm that's live. Feel pretty good about holding 15-1 on Jags to start 0-5. So, I think week 5 they play the Colts. That's
an injured ref here. It's the timeout. It looked like he was hurt pretty bad. There was a what do you call it? A chain gang guy. They were doing like full ass CPR on earlier today.
Yeah,
that's a dangerous job, man. I don't know if he just collapsed or if he got hit. I didn't get the follow up on that. It sounds like he was okay. Thank goodness. Don't need an official dying on the field. Nobody wants that. I'm trying to think of other bad takes I had. I'm just thinking like who had moved the most. I did have some bigger moves. Honestly, I was scared to fall in love with Minnesota's offense, which we'll see how that goes. But I had them a little lower. I think the teams I had too high to start out were probably just Atlanta and who's my NFC team? I was fine with Green Bay being high. I was fine with Green Bay winning today. That was a hilarious game. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's one of those things. Like, I didn't wear a seatbelt growing up. Like, my parents would never yell at me to put a seatbelt on so I'm 40. So I was born in 84. Like, I was probably, I don't know, in high school when they passed laws that you get a ticket in Minnesota. It's crazy thinking about like, wearing a seatbelt's stupid. I'm not going to do that. No, it's like you're never getting in a car without doing that. I mean, you can get in trouble. So it feels like the Guardian caps are going to be one of those things where like 10 years from now, we're like, man, I can't believe we played football without these. Like people had goo coming out of their ears. People were fencing. Oh, this was a good take that I will. When Drew and I were doing the ratings, he didn't do special teams. He just copied mine. He said that right away. He said, "I'm just going to take yours." Yeah, we'll end on this because we'll end on a good take. And
it's a good take.
When I had a low rating on the Ravens, I'm like, the guy is not making long field goals anymore. Like he's good, but not great. And then the rest of the stuff was the whole hum.
I've annually been short on the Ravens, and it never worked out. But I felt like I'm drinking anything Mike McDonald. I thought that was a big shift losing him because I didn't think that defense from a talent standpoint was that great, and the offensive line is taking a beating too. So it's pretty significant changes to have
they lost 2 other defensive coaches to Tennessee
that are
and
now
Miami
DC.
as well.
Yeah, Tennessee and Miami for sure. So tough.
All right, well, let's get some points. The good thing is we've been doing this for a while, and only like 2 minutes have come off the clock because we had that injury. So appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you spending some time in the basement with me today. I'll catch you in 2 weeks for the golf show. I'll catch you every day in the work Slack.
True. Oh yeah,
I'll catch you in
Cup,
2 weeks for President's Cup promo preview. Either way, see you guys. Hit the thumbs up. We'll catch you tomorrow for some recap stuff and a Monday Night Football stream with another surprise guest.
Sorry, my hair doesn't flow like Drew's.